Hey guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, October 12th, 2010. Last week was a very big video for me, a big emotional Talk to Me Tuesday, and you guys are amazing. The feedback from last week's video was incredible, and the emotional release of having all of those patterns and all those blocks, those designs out of the closet and sharing those with you is amazing. I did get the first set of Sunbonnet Sue's Magical Friends posted on Sew Hooked last week. You can find all the monsters in one set called Monster Madness. And today I will be posting the Wand Wielders. So you can look for those later today. They're not online yet, but they will be by Wednesday at the latest. It's kind of crazy in my house right now because my kids both have concerts. I have one orchestra student, one band student, so they both have concerts this week, and there's a lot of craziness going on associated with that, not to mention just October madness in general. Speaking of October madness, this Saturday is the Linus Connection meeting, and it is our anniversary and yearly challenge, so there'll be lots of awesome challenge blankets. I showed you an Afghan a few weeks ago that HP5 Freak sent me. She sent me another one. The challenge for this year, there was an orange fabric that had to be used if you made a quilt, and you could use any color of orange yarn to make an Afghan. You could throw anything else in there, but 80% of at least one skein of orange yarn had to be included in the Afghan. So I got this in the mail, and this is from Amber's Originals, and I'll put a link to her her blog spot so you can see what kind of stuff she has. And inside of this very special bag, I designed that, by the way. Inside of this really awesome bag is one of her probably more I don't know. I'm making this up. Maybe more popular. I say that because I absolutely adore this design and it's fantastic. And if you know anything about Amber's work, you've seen this before. She did a Chudley Cannons Afghan for the Linus challenge. This will probably be the only Harry Potter themed blanket in the challenge. I'm really hoping, we usually have some kids show up for this challenge, and I'm really hoping we do because I can't even imagine that they won't be thrilled to see this. I've already shown it to a few people because it's too fantastic not to share. But this will be in the challenge, so it will be on the Linus blog probably by Sunday or Monday, and depending on when I get to that. And you'll get to see all the other fantastic challenge blankets will also be on there. Afghans, quilts, you name it, it'll be on there. There'll be lots turned in, and it's like a little quilt show with some yarn blankets thrown in, and it's always really fun to see. It's the only time of year that we do this. A lot of the recipient facilities come too, so that's really cool. My challenge blanket is almost done. Mine is not nearly as awesome as Amber's, and mine's more of a peach. This was one of the colors offered. This is Colorful Corn, which I've been working on for a while. I got kind of tired of it and stopped. It's got derailed by hand quilting. But I am going to add probably another 12 inches to this because it needs to be a little longer. So hopefully I'll have that done by Saturday and ready to go. Other than working on Linus and working on challenge stuff and birthday gifts, which I will talk to you about next week, I've been working on Halloween stuff. Halloween is huge in my house. My kids and I have a blast with it. My husband has a blast with it. I take my Halloween costume making very, very seriously. My daughter is going to be the 10th Doctor this year. We found the majority of her costume at a thrift store, and we're making a little tote to go with it that is still a surprise that I should have to show next week. We have all the parts now, so we should have that show next week. Totally her idea. She's probably going to help me make it, but I'll still show it off because it's going to be awesome. My son is going to be a character named Washington from Red vs. Blue, and if you've ever heard of Red vs. Blue, or if you haven't, the characters are based on, they're Halo characters. So it's an animated series that uses Halo as the animation. So basically this guy is wearing futuristic armor from head to foot. He has a helmet, he's got full armor, he's got boots, guns, the whole thing. You know, everything a 12-year-old ever wanted to be for Halloween, right? So after weeks of banging my head and not knowing what I was going to do for this weekend, I said, you know, we had some black stuff for him to wear underneath, and I was going, okay, we're going to work out some armor, we'll figure out how to do it. I still haven't figured it out. He's 5 foot tall, so, you know, not anything huge, but he needs to be able to move. It needs to be functional. He's going to be trick-or-treating, and then he's going to possibly be going to a friend's house afterwards for video games and candy, so I wanted to be able to move. So, and I'm not going to be here that weekend because International Quilt Market is Halloween weekend, so I may not be home in time to help him get dressed. Though I will be home for Halloween, he may have to get dressed without me there guiding the whole thing, so I have to make it as functional and easy to get into as possible. So here's the deal. We went to Goodwill on Saturday and we scored a huge bag of martial arts. It was sparring gear and it had everything. There was a helmet, there was full pads, chest piece, everything. So after trying and failing at dyeing the martial arts gear, I decided to just stop and think about it overnight. So I did, and then the next day I decided to start taking the pieces apart. So I did, and that's working a whole lot better. So from the white sparring gear, so far I have this piece, which is the front piece. I cut the side pieces off. This is actually this A side piece, and then this is Velcro, and this will be the underneath piece. But what this is going to be underneath and what it's going to hold is the actual armor. So the armor is the foam from the inside that I took out of that chest piece. So this actually came out of here, but I just cut it apart and I took this out. And this piece was about 1.5 inches thick, and I've carved it to the shape of the actual armor. So that'll go on his chest, which you can't see because I've got my camera tilted too high. That's the front piece. This is the back piece, and you can see where I drew it out a few times before I decided to be smart and use a template, so it is even and everything. So that's the back. And so this character, they have these big things on their shoulder, and this will go here on his shoulder. So it actually fits like this, and it actually fits pretty well on him. It fits almost perfectly. I did a little template of his shoulder. And all of the stuff's going to be painted. It's all going to be spray painted like this dark sort of bronze color. And he picked out the spray paints just to make sure I got the paint right. And this particular character his helmet has a big yellow stripe on it, and he has shoulder pads that have yellow. So those are probably going to be like either yellow spray paint or yellow duct tape, or I haven't figured that out yet. I'm getting there. But I also have, these are all of the pads that came out of the martial arts set. And these were all, you know, encased in fabric and you know, elastic to hold them on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to put elastic under them to hold them on, and then I will carve all the shapes that he needs. I will either be carved into this, or I have a whole bunch of black craft foam that I'm going to cut like the vents and stuff. After I paint this, I'll cut the vents out and I'll just stick those on so that the accents will be there and it'll look like it's supposed to look. So I've got that's in progress. I'm gonna hopefully work on his helmet today, but first I have to get some patterns online, wand wielders, and he's pretty anxious because he's 12 and he really wants to see that done. So I think that's gonna be it. Halloween's in progress. Hopefully by next week I can show you the completed 10th Doctor costume, which, like I said, is mostly thrift shop. Hopefully I'll have some Agent Washington. I think it's Agent Washington. I don't know if he's an agent. I don't know what it is. He's Washington. I don't know anything about Red versus Blue other than this character's who Gareth wants to be. So I think that's about it. I will see you guys next week. Have a great week. Bye.